can't hear me, well, just tell me I'll raise my voice. I'm Alvis Dwayne Whisenhunt. Dink. If anyone here y'all know another person called Dink, I'd like to know, because I don't know anybody. One of a kind. That's got a story to it. I'll tell you how I got the name Dink. First off, I'm going to talk about legacy, kids. This is my family. Most of them. Some of them are not here. I had 2 daughters, Wendy, Dusty. 3 granddaughters, Gleesy. Gleesy.
I'm right here.
Rainy.
She's not here with us.
She's got other things to do too. And Allie. And you can tell Allie's got a little one. Her name is Tommy, and there's a Tommy right out here too. This family carries on a lot of names, which I think is really good. 7 great-grandchildren. Most of them boys. She's not. As I raised my family, I didn't have any boys. But as most people will do, they were my boys. I treated them a lot like boys. They was cute and pretty girls, but I treated them like my boys. And my wife Jane took care of me when I needed to be taken care of, as good as anybody could. And I'm pretty hard to please, let me tell you. Most of you probably know that. All right, let's go back to why I was called Dink. I was born in Mulberry Canyon, February the 16th, 1938. My mother, Monty, knew that I was fixing to be born into this world. So she sent the family to town to a picture show. Back then, doctors, you know, everybody's born at home. So Dr. Gardner and his midwife, they come to the house and they get there just in time, and I'm born. Well, shortly afterward, the family comes home from the picture show. So Dr. Gardner's midwife, she's got me holding, when they come in, said, "This is your little brother. He's a dinky little thing." So my sisters heard that, and they called me Dinky. My sister, Tommy, she was Dinky a lot to her, and she never let me forget it. That I was a baby of the family, and I was a dinky little thing, so she never forgot it. My dad was a farmer. Farmed around Merkel all his life. Riley, most people were farmers back in them days, regardless. Wasn't big farms, but you know, you raised your own pigs, cows, chickens. Always had chicken on Sundays, and my family wasn't any different. We always had chicken. In my family, there was 9 kids born. 2, the twins, they didn't make it very long. Okay, and I had another brother, Bob, and Bob lived up to be 8 or 9 years old, and he got the pneumonia. He passed away too. So my mom raised 6 of us. Most of them was raised right here in Merkel. Most of you knew them. They lived here all their lives. My mom passed away when I was 8 years old. So, shortly after that, Riley, my dad, he put me on a train. I went to New York. stayed up there a while, I don't know, but I got to go watch the New York Yankees. And you'd think that I'd been a New York Yankee fan. I never pull for them again. I'm not a Yankee fan. It won too much for me. I played basketball, football, baseball, anything else that they had going on with the ball, I played with it. We went to a regional in basketball, and really, I don't know how far they went in baseball, but we were pretty good. When Merkel has a Hall of Fame, I like to brag. And the first class to go into the Hall of Fame, Merkel, I was elected to go. What? It's an honor. It's an honor for y'all to come by and just listen to what I've got to say about family. Because I did throw a lot, they call me Owl the Arm. Basketball, baseball, football, I played quarterback. So I threw whatever it was. Graduated from Merkel in 1954 and was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds. I'll go into the sports part. That's the last I'm going into. I made my living off the land. I was a farmer, ranger. When I first started, that's what I was. I was a farmer and ranger. As you get older, you just graduate and you go into, you'll be a ranger and farmer as you get older. You just really start working cows, working cotton. Well, had a lot of cotton. I guess you'd say I love them both. Farming, raising cattle. I love it. That's made my living all my life. Put the food on the table for everybody. Always had a good garden too. And when we'd get through picking or whatever, there's a lot of other people who go out there. If it may. It wasn't irrigated, it's dry land. That goes around here. Maybe not. I love to work cattle. Had a good set of pens. And when I'd work cattle, I'd call my kinfolks and my friends, Warren Dozer, a lot of the times too. Well, we had a good time. And I always said, this is one of my sayings. Whatever you do, if you don't have a good time, it's your fault. That's a good thing to live by. We'd work them cattle. We'd get through, send somebody to town, and we'd always have a dinner after. We'd gather up a bucket of chicken, fried chicken, cheese, big old block of cheese, and light bread. And we'd sit down on the tailgate or whatever, under the shade. We'd always eat. I was lucky in that I had two hands that more or less started with me, or I started them. They were 15, 16 years old. And these two fellas, one of them stayed with me to the bitter end. And the other one, he stayed with me as long as I could. So, boy, you can't beat that. Hunting and fishing. As you can tell, I love hunting and fishing. And to prove it, there ain't many people in this world that's got a white albino mourning dove and a white albino quail. And I put them under a base, made a lamp out of it, and I got them both in there, so if you want to see them, still got them. one of a kind, really. I don't know anybody else who's got such. Hunted with a bunch of fellers from the Metroplex. They leased my place, and we, we're friends. Hunted elk with them, hunted dove, quail, and they'd bring their bird dogs. They'd spend thousands of dollars on bird dogs, training them and buying them. Well, I always had bird dogs, and I had two, Dub and Tag. Dub probably was my favorite, and them boys would bring their dogs. We'd hunt. We hunted. It started in the morning. That's what they come for. We'd start in the morning, and we quit dark. Back then, we had quail and dove. And we cooked, eat. It was a great time. But the time the day was over, they'd take them bird dogs they got, and they'd go put them in the back of their pickup, and they'd be right behind old Dub, because he was the one that's doing all the work. Point. He's a good old dog. Dub, we hunted the Turner row of the fields a lot of the time. When it wasn't just a couple of us, me and Danny Malone, or me and Bill Whisenhunt, maybe Royce, we'd hit the turning rows, and on Dub, we'd always carry that dog. And we wouldn't punch shoot him, out of the pickup. We'd go down the turning road, that old dog, if he went into the wind, he'd smell him in the back end of the pickup. Or he'd be on top of the cab of the pickup, or the hood. And when he'd smell him from the hood of that pickup, and I've seen him more than once, he'd go pointing and pointing. He could already smell it. And we'd just drive right on by. And we'd turn that dog out, come back downwind, we'd take old Dub and do our thing. That's when we had quail. And like I said, I love it. I love them old bird dogs. Hunting and fishing. Fishing. When I was younger, my brothers, Walt Earl, Jack, we bought a seine. Anybody don't know what a seine is? It's a big long net you can catch fish in. We bought a 4-foot by 60-foot seine. Now, boys, we bought a seine. And they wouldn't have fished within 20 miles of Merkel, Texas. That was safe. We tracked that old seine through the tank. Back then, people didn't stock them much. You put fish in there, and they raised. So they wouldn't. We caught a lot of fish. Best fishing pole I ever had, I said. Got a place out here next to the mountain. Got a turkey roost on it, and I don't know how long, folks, that thing's been there. Yeah, a long time. And there's times when there's 50 to 100 turkeys out there. And for 40 years, I know that there's been turkeys in that roost. We can run them off. I love them old turkeys. I like to see them, and I didn't believe in feeders. So I'd load up these girls, and I had a road around this place. And we'd put a sack of feed, or they'd get in the back end. We'd go to certain places. We'd go to this corner, pour corn out as I drove down the road. Go to the next spot where I know there's going to be pour more corn out. Go around, pour more corn out. Well, that wasn't the end of it. We had to go back around to see the turkeys. That there's all there. I might have counted them, had the girls count them. I love them. But like I say, for 40 years, and today, they're still out. All right, we're getting to the sports part. I say I had 3 careers, more or less, in baseball. High school, minor leagues, then over-the-hill leagues. When I come out of high school, I played for the Abilene Blue Sox. Some of you might remember here 10 or 15 years ago, they started that league back up over there, and Abilene named their team the Abilene Blue Sox. Somebody remembered that I played for the Blue Sox, and they called me, and I throwed out the first pitch at one of the games. That league we played, Texas, El Paso, in Louisiana. One of the stories, we played in El Paso. We played in El Paso one night. The other night we played in Juarez. And Juarez didn't have a baseball field really. Or they did, but we played in a bullfighting arena. Now, if you don't think that was a show, they loved us, but nobody wanted to pitch. And like I always said, you might as well pitch the catcher, because that thing's just like a little league field. You can imagine, if you didn't score 20 runs, you weren't in the game. So I sure didn't want to pitch over there, and that was my position. I was a pitcher. So we went over and had a good time. They really loved us over there. So. From there, I went up to Florida, and I played in the Southern League. While I was there, I played with a fella by the name of Brooks Robertson. Some of you probably don't know Brooks Robertson, but I think I must have taught him something, because he left that league and went to major leagues. He won 16 straight Golden Gloves, and he's in the Hall of Fame. I know. Went to Europe. I played over there military ball. We played in front of, they didn't have many baseball fields, played on soccer fields, but we played in front of the generals, colonels, and they'd be like, all the GIs would be there, because just a little bit of home while we're there. That's a picture from Fort Hood. All right. Come back, we had semi-pro team, what you call it. Played right here in Merkel. That field on the west end of town down yonder, it was named Hooks Field. We built it. It's been modified, the schools worked on it. There's been a bunch of them. On that team, we had Merkel players and some other players that we picked up. The players, a few names: Connie McSeymour, George English, Philip Pursley, Floyd Page, Danny Doan, Bob Hooks, and my brother Walter. And we weren't slouches, just some of these other kids that played. Mike Bromley, Mike Perry, Dick Carpenter played for the Yankees. So Billy Monk, Julian Marino, Bob Bearden, a lot of you, Mabeline, my father remember him, he's a great athlete. But we played in a district. They called it district in the semi-pro. Well, if you win district, you move on to Lubbock and play state. And we went up there and we got beat, got the losers bracket, played all night long, 2 o'clock in the morning. The sprinkler system come on out there in the field. I had to go get the guy out of bed, come up there and turn it off. So we made it back to the bracket. Lubbock Covers beat us. And we had to play them again. Guess what? They beat us the second time. Well, that team that wins that tournament gets to pick up a couple of players. And Covers picked up Mike Bromley, which was a pitcher on our team, and me. And we go we play other states, play Rhode Island. I pitch against Rhode Island. I beat them 2-1. I got a couple of more here, and I'm going to wrap this thing up. I played it. I was older, and my nephew and my brother, Walter, was a manager of this team. And Bill Whisenhunt, they talked me into playing with him. And I'm pitching. We go to high school, Texas. And the first batter gets on the base somehow or another. And anyway, he ends up at third base, and I got a trick move I've always used, that if they run down that line, I'm going to pick them off third base. Well, I come to a stop, he don't. They got a suicide squeeze on, and he's going into home. He don't stop. I run off the mound, faking the ball. They trying to get him to stop. He don't stop. He goes in. Well, umpires go to holler, out! Well, the probably the wrong thing to say to me. So I go ahead and approach them and say, "Oh, what are you talking about? It was not a ball." They say, "Yeah, it was." I said, "No, it ain't." We continue on, get a little more heated. Next thing I know, they said, "You're out of here. Get out of here." Throw me out of the game. And they said, "You got to leave the park. And you might as well just get out of town." So I did. I loaded them up and we left town. Connie Mack, we played softball, and we were playing up here at the Merkle Little League, at the Little League field. And it was somebody's idea. We played softball. And we would all chip in $5 or $10 or whatever, pay for the lights of the Little League, and get the rest of the money. Well, pretty soon we had too many players. We couldn't get them on the field. Had 30 players. Anyway, that led on into a league. We developed a league up here for slow pitch softball. But anyway, there we're playing in the Little League, and I know about every trick there is in the book. But anyway, we take a grapefruit and we peel. We're playing softball. We peel that grapefruit. Paint a little red stripe or two around it, make it look like a softball. And Jerry Miller is our victim. He comes to the bat, and I take that grapefruit and I pitch it up there, and Jerry Miller hits a grapefruit, splatters it all over the Merkle Little League field. So everybody got a kick out of that. It was pretty good. And I got some more tricks and stuff. Okay. I'm wrapping her up right here. So y'all all need to get up here. We got something to say. All right. I got a saying, and it's been passed on during my lifetime. And we're going to pass it on. Y'all ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Take your time and pitch a good game.
Thank y'all.